Well, hello my fellow car modelers. How you doing today? Well, we're going to take a look at it. A lot of people have gotten it. It's been buzzing on the internet in the past couple of weeks. The Mobius Novas are out. I haven't got my gasser yet, but I picked up the 64 yesterday. And, well, I wanted to do an opening of it in front of you guys, which I did so you could get my reaction. And, of course, I accidentally deleted everything, so that's not going to happen. So I already know it's in here, so I figured let's go ahead and do a comparison of this kit and the Trumpeter Nova. What the heck? I want to see if we got something better now, because that Trumpeter Nova was pretty cool, but I had my dislikes of that, and I'm hoping that and I'm thinking this is better. So let's take a look at it. Alrighty, so first of all, I'm going to pop this sucker open. And I already took this look at it. Beautiful instructions. Pretty much everything's out there about this kit. I'm sure there's some other videos made, openings. I'm not really worried about a whole review of the kit as far as, you know, looking at every little bit. There's a lot of that out there, but I can tell you right now from what I saw, it is super nice. It is really, really nice. The thing that I want to cover in this, and of course here's the most important thing, the body. But the big thing I want to look at on this, and we're going to look at pretty much major parts, is I want to compare this kit to the Trumpeter kit. Now, of course, Trumpeter felt they needed to make this ginormous, flat, long, awkward box that doesn't fit into the model car narrative of stacking models and all. It always was a pain. I always hated that about the kit right there. It's nice that this is in a regular box, but it's so frickin' big I don't think I can even put it in the shot, but I have it here. Here's a part of it. Okay, but theirs is of course the 63. This is the 64. Any of you guys know, I don't know Novas, early Novas, first gen Novas. I don't know that well if there was any difference between the 63 and the 64, but they're close enough to me. So I have the kit. I haven't looked at this in a long time, but I know there were some things that I really disliked about it. But it was pretty much overall a really good kit. Yeah, all this packaging in here. Why? Same frickin' kit, probably same amount of parts, and Mobius was able to put it in a normal human being box. But here we go. That is the body to the Trumpeter kit. So here we go. There's the Mobius and there's the Trumpeter. Let's see. The Mobius claims to be a 1/25 scale, and the Trumpeter claims to be a 1/25 scale. Trumpeter, Mobius. They look pretty much scaled exactly the same. Let's see. Here's a thing that I wanted to look at. Okay. Let's see if we can flip this up and so we can get it to your view of what you think. Let's do this. This was something that I wanted to see. Okay, remember we have got the Mobius on the left. Let's get this right. The Mobius is on the left and the Trumpeter is on the right. And already we can see it looks like we got a little bit more height in the Mobius one. They're very close. I mean, I know that to my eye on the Mobius kit, something that was a little disturbing, and it seemed like the roof was a little low in some, especially when you get it at about that angle. When you look at a shot of the model at about that angle, the roof looks very chopped. Quite honestly, I don't know. I'm not seeing it as much now that I got the body in my hand. But what I do see is I don't think the roof is the issue. I think that the percentage of this height to this height compared to this one, this height to that height, of the body to the ratio to the roof to the top of the doors are a little bit different. I think they went a little bit too tall with that. That might give it that little bit of a chopped roof type, but not really as bad as from what I heard before it came out. But I'll tell you my big issue. What I was very upset about the Trumpeter. For me, I wanted to do a super stock car with some big fat tires. I was going to tub the back. And when I do a race car, one thing I don't want is chrome trim down the side. This has the chrome trim here, but it didn't have the chrome trim down the side. And then lots of times that chrome trim down the side takes out that little character line, character mark, as you see right here. And what they decided to do, instead of putting the chrome strip down, which the wagon, which is, what is it, 63 wagon, which was a bummer that they molded that on. Now, I would rather have it molded on than I get what they were doing, where they wanted to use it on the chrome tree, so they put this valley down, not valley, I don't know, just a groove down the body. That really sucks. And it's really hard to get rid of. Well, all the filling, plus you got to deal with, you know, making your deal there. But of course, that was probably the only big complaint I had about the Trumpeter kit, where I was really pleased that this was coming out, because then I didn't have to deal with that and I could do my super stock car. So in my mind, I haven't looked at this kit in a while. I was thinking, well, I don't need this Trumpeter kit anymore because this was coming out. But now I'm starting to see some things in the Trumpeter kit that I'm kind of liking a little better, but I like this better. I don't like either one better. They're really two different things. It's looking at, but I'm starting to think I was going to get rid of this kit because this came out, but I'm kind of starting to change my mind a little bit. Because something else I noticed is, first of all, you see you've got an open trunk, which is really cool. That's really cool when you're building a race car. You can do some cool detail in there. This is the chassis for the Mobius. Very nice detail. Looks fairly accurate. Very nice. It fits up in, looks like it'll fit up in the body very well. And have a separate front subframe, which is always cool. It just gives you some good options to really do some modifications that you want to go with. Now we look at the Mobius chassis. We have a separate gas tank. That's a plus. But I hate these things they put on to attach those pieces. You don't put the piece, like, I imagine that's for the exhaust. I hate it when they do that stuff. That's just work you got to do to get that all gone. And if you're wanting to do a race car that doesn't have a stock fuel tank, that's really cool, but you got to get rid of those things for the fuel tank. Oh, and this has a straight 6. How cool. Looks like it also has separate frame rails. That's kind of interesting. This chassis, I mean, they're both very good representations. Very good. This has got to get me where the gas tank's missing because of what I like to build in building like drag race cars and stuff. I'm liking that. Even I could get rid of that. I'm liking that I don't have a gas tank to deal with right there. And I like the separate, there's the fuel, the rear subframes are not molded on. They're somewhere else. I remember seeing that before. They're somewhere else in the kit, which is very cool, because if you want to do an old school type of back half or narrowed rear end car, what they used to do back in the 70s when that started getting really prevalent in super stock racing, is they literally would move the inner frame rails in, because NHRA rules say you can narrow and bring in frame rails and have a narrowed rear end for big tires to fit in there. But you had to retain the stock floor and trunk floor in between the frame rails. So they would just cut away, move the frame rails in. There's a great article about that. That John Lingerfelter built a Nova that I actually would love to do a model of. It was on the cover of Hot Rod right there. And they show how they did all that. It's a very, very good article if you're interested in building a 70s correct, you know, to time period model. Another cool thing, look at that. That's the inner structure to the trunk lid. I'm not sure where the trunk lid's not in this bag, but oh, there's the fuel tank too. So it's really cool how everything is so separate on this. That's a plus and that's a minus. It makes it a more complicated kit to build, but boy, when you want to do some crazy stuff like what I like to do, I would almost lean towards wanting to use the Trumpeter kit to do what I want to do more so than this kit. You're watching the Luka Cee channel on YouTube. I had already opened up the Mobius kit. Not really worried about the stock hubcaps, but if you're interested, there you go. Mobius kit, love it. Separate grill, separate bumpers. That's always neat. And we've got our headlight bezels, and of course, if you see the headlights that this kit came with, they're very cool how they insert from behind. They're not these little flimsy lenses. Look very, very good. Separate hood chrome trim. That I love. Very nice. They have another chrome tree in here that has the bumpers and another set of valve covers. Some cool Chevrolet script flat valve covers. You got some classic fin ones there. But there's the bumpers for you. Looking at the Trumpeter kit, they do separate bumpers and grill, but they even did separate grill. Let's get that separate grill and the headlight bezels, which can be very cool because sometimes there's different types of detail painting you want to do, that having this separate from the grill, that can make that look really, really good. There's a lot of separate. Look at separate dash. I know the dash in the Mobius kit, that's all molded into the dash. You got that all separate. That's pretty cool. Here's the one thing about the Trumpeter kit I don't like. There's that chrome trim that goes down the side. Now how about the clear? Okay, as I'm keeping the Trumpeter all bagged, obviously that's the Trumpeter. Here's the clear for the new Mobius kit, and separate windshield. I love how it's got this ridge right there that fits into the ridge of the body right there. So it fits in really tight, and then it looks really accurate back here, not setting so far back. And like a lot of our model kits, you know, the way the glass pops in, lots of times it looks really far away from the body and the trim, where they kind of do away with that by having a groove in the body and a little bit of a groove right there where that fits right into the hole. That's very cool. There's those nice headlights. See what I'm talking about? Those headlights. Is that cool or what? I like how they're very good detail, and they've got really, really well way of popping in there and holding in place. Very easy to glue. They have typical type of headlight lenses. They're actually really not that great. The detail's not really that accurate. You got one thing that we didn't look at. You got separate. I love this on the Trumpeter kit. Separate backup lights. There's on the chrome. There was a separate bezel for the tail lights. Separate clear backup lights that go in the tail lights, and then you've got your red, where the Mobius was all on the chrome tree, so you have to paint. You have both the 64 and the 65 tail lights on this, so obviously the gasser and the stock 64, the gasser's a 65, share the same chrome tree with the Mobius kits. So you've got there's your tail lights for the 64, and there's your tail lights, and then there's another set of the other tail light backup lights right there. There they go. That's for the gasser kit when it comes out, if you can see. You got to paint those, which is fine. A little bit of that clear Tamiya will do the job. It'll do the job good. But I just like how the Trumpeter kit has a separate chrome bezel, and then now we have a separate backup clear lens and the backup red tail light. That is super cool. Now here with the Trumpeter, I don't like, it's cool, you got, and they even fogged it a little, you've got nice headliner detail, whatever. Headliner detail never matters to me. When do you see it? When the model's built. It's cool some ways. I just don't see a purpose in it. It is cool to have side windows glass, but that's easy to do. But to have this all one piece right there, and let's take a look at the body. See how it would pop in there. Although the body is fairly slim, But I can tell you, when you get this glass popped into there, it's not going to fit up and flush and up and look accurate to scale like the Mobius will look. That's just a better design. But also remember, this is what, 20 years old now? So this kit, the Trumpeter kit, did come out in 2004. So we're looking at a spread of about 15, 16 years of technology changes in model making. So there you go. We've got the Trumpeter right here, the Mobius right there. Pretty close there. They're pretty close and looking the same. All the dimensions, the shapes. This is probably the biggest difference between the two that makes me have a tough time to say if I wanted to choose one to do the model I want to do. Boy, that would be tough for the whole chrome thing. That's the only thing that I can totally go, well, the Trumpeter just makes me go, Mobius, beautiful. Thank you so much for Mobius not putting that chrome trim on. This, not such a big deal. It's easy to take off. You can see how this one doesn't have it, but this has also got the chrome trim around there, where this has a bit of the chrome trim around there. If you wanted to keep that, I'm just a fan of no chrome. I really like it. So all in all, I'm gonna have to say, between the two, I would say they're very equal. They've got their pluses and minuses. The Trumpeter kit really is an amazing kit. The detail, all the separate pieces, that's wonderful for wanting to do some of the stuff like what I like to do, doing a lot of chassis modifications and a lot of cool detail if you're doing a race car, which this would probably be the better one to do with my idea. If it wasn't for that, I would go the Trumpeter kit all the way. I would still lean more towards it. It's got just some better pluses to it than the Mobius. This is really cool, but having all that extra stuff, sometimes that's a dilemma to where you're just wanting to build a nice, quick, you don't want to deal with tons and tons and tons of separate parts. Well, the Mobius is definitely better. Definitely better for that. Where that has its needs in my model building too, where I would prefer not having so many separate parts. My goodness, a separate gas tank, a separate frame rail. I mean, that's cool. I like it for things I do, but all in all, what's the point? Of course, the Trumpeter, hard to get a hold of, very expensive. It was getting, it just wasn't a high production. And it was an expensive kit when it came out. It was really expensive, where this is a much more obtainable kit. Obviously, they're going to be producing a bunch of them. They're in a regular box. They're a regular retail price, where this was just astronomical back in the day. I think it was like a $50 kit back then, when your average regular kits were about $17, I think. They were under 20. They were way under 20 at some point, like in 2004. This is a great release for us. They did an outstanding job. I am not one bit saying anything bad about Mobius putting this kit out. It's the comparison. This one's just a kind of a cooler kit in a lot of ways, where the Trumpeter has a lot more really cool points over the Mobius kit. Mobius kit definitely is a little bit more simplified, which is better. I really do give this kit a big aces. This is an outstanding kit. You're going to be, if you're wanting to do a mid-60s Nova, I would definitely get this. If I didn't have this Trumpeter kit, I wouldn't hunt down one of these Trumpeter kits. I would just get this. This is really nice. I am decided to hold on to my Trumpeter kit now, though. I was going to let it go, but I forgot some of the cool things about the Trumpeter kit, where it is going to serve its purpose for me. So anyways, that's it. That's the comparison of the two. I thought that was neat. Definitely, if you're on the fence about getting this Mobius kit, go get this Mobius kit. It is dynamite. There's a lot of guys that are showing all the pieces of the kit, building them. They're doing videos that will be coming out. I believe, I will not say right now, but one of my YouTube buddies says he's going to be doing extensive reviews on both of them, and I will leave that to him. I'm just doing a comparison video and my thoughts are, yeah, definitely outstanding kit. Thank you guys for watching. be sure to go check out my Teespring for my stuff. And then if you want to be a producer, go down in the description below. You can get the Teespring link down below, and you can get my Patreon link down below to become a producer. So with that said, keep on gluing those fingers together. Keep on cutting that styrene. And then there's that little thing I always tell you guys to do. Go build model cars. Why? Because they're fun! Here's the producers.